I was thinking about this topic for a month or so due to reasons, and it made me realize something big as a car guy. And if you have the ability to keep your attention span for more than 30 seconds, viewers, the title and the thumbnail of this video is contradicting to my channel purpose, which is to maybe make an Indian car community one day. Emphasis on the word car. This is not a channel for bikes, and maybe it never will be. But the subject of bikes might be an important one for me and also for us car guys as well. I'm not joking, and it might and will be the only redeeming thing us car guys in India can look up to, fortunately or unfortunately. If you know me, I don't like India when it comes to cars, and I have complained about it multiple times, sometimes with logic, sometimes with feelings. The roads are atrocious at times here, the speed bumps can be anarchic if you are not careful with your car. Prices of fancy sports cars and supercars are a fuck of a lot higher compared to its original price tag because import duties. Indian car brands don't make fancy cars either, and there's way too much traffic to ride your weekend car just cruising around. And the worst offender on this list? Car modifications are outright banned in India, even to the window tints, unless you have deep pockets and connections. There is a lot of things to complain about. But one thing I also know about myself is that I just love anything related to mechanical brilliance and intelligence with a spice of coolness added into it. Cars were the first thing I was exposed to having these two qualities, and so many of them. But bikes? No, I was not a huge fan of these things in the past, honestly. They have their cool side, sure, with mechanical brilliance as well, but it had nothing on me. I was like, if you were to squint hard enough, all bikes just looks the same with minor body alterations here and there. Even when I was exposed to a popular movie franchise known as the Dhoom trilogy, basically Fast and Furious, but instead of cars, there were bikes made by our Desi Bollywood industry and with not so serious characters, even if it was a crime action drama. It was my entirely situational experience that I even considered that bikes are also cool as fuck and needs to be cared for. And that experience was my first motor vehicle ever. Yup, meet my bike, Rooney. It's a name I gave for a specific reason that is very dear to me. Her official name and what people call her usually is Pulsar N160. I think one of the best bikes in the market for its price. My situation was when my admission was confirmed for my college, which is 16 to 17 kilometers away from my home, I needed something to travel. We have an Activa which is 17 years old and was not a viable option. It also didn't have any functional indicators as well. My elder brother had a bike too, the NS160, also a Pulsar, a good bike and was running quite well, but I wanted something of my own bike. Father was ready right from the start, only with two conditions. It must be good for long travels, so no sports or super bikes which can crack your back, and should be at a reasonable cost including mileage. And I got to work. Researching on websites like bikewallet.com, zigwills.com, you just name it. And there I saw it. My interest in bikes peaked sky high because this interest will benefit me for the coming years. And so I set my sights on this beauty. I mean, it is the best naked bike I've ever seen this far for its price segment. Comfortable seating, as in street bikes, and gives 50 kilometers of mileage per liter of petrol with dual channel ABS for safety as well. And boy does it look good. I mean, I want to look at it more than I want to ride it honestly. And this is where I got the idea of making this video. I had thoughts. The number of times I've complained about the car situation in India can be solved if you can settle for bikes. And you know what? Maybe you just don't like bikes and just want to stick with cars. Sure, fine. You do you. It's your choice. But if you are like me who's interested in just about anything motor related or petrosexual, as Top Gear calls it, you might be interested in bikes as well. You might not be exposed enough to find that out yet. And to support my claim, YouTubers like Bladed Angel and his brother Omni Rider both made videos on bikes as well. And they are definitely interested if they are making these many videos on them. Even James May and Richard Hammond love to ride these things, to the point that Hammond has his own collection of bikes in his house. And talking about the problem it solves, we are spoiled with choices. Unlike cars where you can only choose between a boring ass car which can't be modified or very expensive specific supercars like Lamborghini, Ferrari, Porsche, etc. Bikes here comes in different variety and diversity, and we have so much to choose from depending on our taste. Just want to go from A to B? Commuter bikes are your friend. Just like to cruise around the weekends? Here are long and heavy cruisers. Want a sporty feeling at a reasonable price? Sport bikes are the way to go. Adventurous in nature? Here are these adventure bikes with high ground clearance with off-road capabilities. Want to impress girls? These extreme exotic super bikes will do its job for you. But if you want to strike a blend of balance, speed and daily practicality with no sacrifices to the looks, street bikes or naked bikes are the best for you. They are also great to dial through traffic, and from where I travel to college, there's a lot of traffic, and that's just my experience. It's the fact that there is traffic just about everywhere in the city. Their mobility, accumulation of space, agility, etc. are great for these conditions to save your time compared to cars. You can also go through speed bumps at higher speeds because of the ground clearance in these bikes, and because they are light as well. You can brake later with even less load on the suspension while crossing the speed bumps, plus it gives them more off-road adventure abilities. And the point that matters: price. These bikes have lower price tags than cars. Of course it makes sense, right? Because if you think about it, cars are bigger with more materials. But if you just want speed and fun in your ride, even the most expensive bike will cost up to 80 lakh rupees or $96,000. Kawasaki Ninja H2, the fastest production street legal bike ever. And that's after import duties in here. If you look out for buying a car this fast, you are easily looking for a bad investment altogether. It would be cheaper if you get out of this country, get settled in countries like Germany or the US, and then buy this fast exotic cars than to import it here single-handedly. In comparison, the Ninja is much more affordable for a rich businessman than the car this fast. This doesn't mean that they'll buy it, but they can easily afford that speed. Talking about speed, these bikes can go up to 400 km per hour and accelerate like crazy due to high power to weight ratio. That 400 is achieved by Kawasaki Ninja H2 again, but the other bikes like BMW M1000RR, Ducati Superleggera V4, Suzuki Hayabusa, etc. can also easily go up to 300 km per hour, which is a great speed for its price. This immense competition are present even in the lower segments of these companies' bikes under 300cc and are the main jewel or attraction for the common public market, which means even Indian companies like Pulsar, TVS and Hero can take risk in the sports bike segment because you see, the risks are much more viable to take in this market than the sports car market due to low R&D and manufacturing costs than the cars. And that's why there are so many Indian sport bikes and no Indian sports car whatsoever. And so we can expect more potential in fast and fun bikes in the future as well. Man, if you are a bike enthusiast, you are living the dream here. My last point are their looks. Once you peel the layer of these bikes' body design, you'll realize that these bikes look cool as hell. From exotics to super to sports to even naked bikes, they look great. They can definitely catch public's eye while riding or parked. I also had multiple compliments for my Rooney for its looks, and like I said before, I want to look at it more than I want to ride it. And that's the end of my list. Look, just to be clear, I don't think these bikes will ever replace cars for us car guys. But I think they are just a great alternative in my country if you are a petrosexual like me. And I will stand by my points mentioned in this video. So next time, if you want speed in our Bharat lands, then bikes are the best way to go. I have chosen my vehicle for now. But what's your gonna be?